Hi folks, Ric Conkey, manager at Zeigler Maserati of Grandville again. Okay, so now we're doing the test drive. And the first thing I want to make note of is the ergonomics of the car. The way you feel behind the wheel, the way the Maserati has a perfect weight distribution feeds back to you as the driver unlike any other car. A lot of cars that we're comparing against today is in the Ghibli would be the A6, would be the BMW 5 Series, and the E-Class Mercedes. And each one is going to have a different feel. The Audi is a front-heavy car, the BMW is a perfectly balanced car, and the heaviest of them all typically is the Mercedes-Benz. They're all very nice cars, but Maserati is really going after the big three Germans. And I think they've done a fantastic job with it. Now, one of the things that Maserati has come up with is the ZF 8-speed transmission. It is electronic, so it's very easy to do. You pull it down to D, and if you just push it forward just a little bit, each time will go into a different gear. And as you can see with the screen, when I put it in reverse, you got the screen that comes up. So let's go into drive, and we've got a couple of different modes. We got the manual mode, ICE or increased control and efficiency, and then your sport mode. And when you do the sport mode, again like my previous video, the sport mode is going to open up the full exhaust. It's going to give you a deeper note. I don't know if you can hear this right now, but just got a little deeper. And that's going to give you more acceleration. It's also going to give you a powerful deceleration where it's actually upshifting like you would in a sports car when you're going into a very fast braking situation. So for now, we're going to take off. Very balanced, very smooth, very easy to drive, but it's not, the steering isn't so lightweight like some of our direct competitors that you can spin the steering wheel with your pinky. It's a little tighter, and it gets tighter as you move forward. One of the most, I use the word intoxicating a lot, and I'm going to give you a little example of that here real quick. That little pop and growl, to me, is one of the most intoxicating sounds you'll ever hear in an engine. You know, one of our big competitors that we're hearing about a lot lately, which to be determined whether it's more of a fad or an actual long-term competitor, is the Tesla. You know, I consider it the iPhone buyer out there that wants the newest, neatest technological innovation. To me, a car is an experience. It's everything that you do in the car from point A to point B. It's not about what you can do when you're sitting at a stoplight playing around with a car. So this car is extremely lightweight. It's only 4,100 pounds for a mid-size sedan. And with a 3-liter V6, to be able to catapult you from 0 to 60 in 4.6 seconds with a 6-cylinder, that's, to me, is the essence of a car. The sound, the experience. In my last video, we also talked about the braking ability, and the ability to actually stop doesn't just come with bigger brakes. It comes with the ability to spend time and passion in the production of the vehicle to get a perfectly balanced car. That is not an easy attempt to do. And some of the things that you compromise on when you're creating a near perfect weight distribution is interior room. We could always have a much bigger car, but that's what makes it beautiful about choosing cars out there. This car is not for everybody. This car is an absolute joy and experience. I don't have any sport suspensions on this car, but going around the cornering here, it's effortless. The car stays planted, it stays balanced. You're not feeling a tugging or a pulling motion in your front wheels. You just feel in complete control as the driver. So as we enter onto I-196 heading towards Holland, Michigan, we're going to have a little fun here. And we just reached 60 miles an hour. Little joke there. So, one of the things I notice from all of the test drives I do with my clients is when we get on the highway here, the first thing they make note of is, wow, I really didn't expect an exotic car like Maserati to be as comfortable as it is. And this is a car you could drive to Florida and back, and you would feel very comfortable. This is like wearing the most elite pair of tennis shoes that keep you comfortable all day long. There's other cars out there that feel like you're in a big sofa chair, or a car that makes you feel like you're in a bubble where you don't hear or feel anything. And that's not Maserati. If that's what you're looking for, you know, just come in and test drive the car and you'll know. Now, if you look down here to the left, I was showing you the sport button. Take a look at both the sport button when I turn it on and off, and also my tachometer. So if you bring it up to the tachometer there, I'm going to take the sport button off here, and you'll see that it just dropped down to about 1800 RPMs. And we're going just a few miles an hour over the speed limit, not bad. Not enough to get caught, but we're at 1700 RPMs. So at this speed, driving a 60 mile an hour difference, I was hitting about 27 miles to the gallon last time I was out. So I'm going to kick that sport button back in. You see I'm up over 2100 RPMs, and now we're going into this beautiful corner. And again, at the speed you were just looking at, we're still holding tight at that pace. To me, the true passion of driving this car on a daily basis is hearing this car shift from second to third, third to fourth, and so on. So if that gets you in trouble, you have to know that when you're making your purchase decision. So we're going to give it a little pop here so we can hear that pop and growl again. So when I stepped on the gas like that, the car didn't lift up and jump. It held tight. It stays true to you as a driver. And this car is, the ergonomics of this car is superior. You get in here, you look around the car a little bit. You got very simple control mechanisms, the radio, player, climate control, navigation system. It's so easy to use. Are there different systems out there? One company says they have the better system, the next company says they have the better system. Plain and simple, Maserati has designed a driver's car. You get in with a system like this, it's easy to use, you're back, eyes on the road, and enjoying the drive. Okay, so now we're going into the braking, and the thing I'm trying to get you to notice here is the cornering ability. And as we slow down, you're going to hear the engine blip the throttle. Here, did it once, did it again, did it one more time, and again. So with that braking ability, again, the car did not squat, or it squatted down instead of dipping in the front and lifting up in the rear, which ultimately is a true lack of control. You do not want that to happen on any vehicle for you, and when you're spending this kind of money on a car, I would expect that to be one of your top priorities, especially if you have a spouse or children or anything like that. come up to this light and I'm going to come to an emergency stop here. We're just going to really put on the brakes. See how the car completely squatted down? Quite impressive, and that wasn't 100% on the brakes, but enough to give you a sample. So the question I have for you is, could you see yourself enjoying a car as much as I enjoy this test drive on a daily basis? This all-wheel drive system is very unique compared to the X-Drive, compared to the Quattro, compared to the 4MATIC. This is the only one that delivers 100% power to the rear wheels all the time until needed. So within milliseconds, it's delivering that power. Examples, in the wintertime, we've already had some horrific West Michigan winter storms this whole past year, and compared to the BMW, this is a little wider and a little longer. So what that does is it gives you a completely solid feel to you as the driver in any climate weather. And with our services at Zeigler Maserati of Grandville, if you do not head off to the south for the winter or to a winter home, we store your tires for you for free. So if that is something of interest, give us a shout as well, and we'll make sure you know everything that's available to you. You touch the blinker once, it gives you a triple blink, so you do not need to press and hold and click and put your attention towards the blinker as opposed to putting your attention towards the road. Now again, in the sport mode still, just an absolute fun position to put the transmission in. Basically just taking out the top gears, depending on where you're at, sometimes 7th, every time 8th when you're in the sport mode. You also have a dead pedal up here to the left to give you a perfect balance so that you're not fighting for that left seat position as well, or left foot position I should say. Now, if you go with the sport package, you have paddle shifters here, and if you look down here, I'm going to actually tip it. You can hear how quick when I'm tipping it, it's almost instant. Now, I've driven double clutch transmissions before. I can't imagine that they are much faster than what we just did. If I want to take it out, all I do is press the sport button, or I wait for a period of time and it will time out, and then I can just put it back into the sport mode. And basically that concludes our test drive. Thank you for your time. Again, Ric Conkey, Zeigler Maserati of Grandville. See you next time.